Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a massive shift in the cybersecurity space, the brand new Claude Security public beta for enterprise customers. We're looking at how frontier AI models are making this huge leap from just writing code to actively securing massive enterprise codebases. We're going to break down exactly how this tech works under the hood, how it actually cuts through all the noise, and why it's pretty much a fundamental shift in vulnerability management. But first, think about this for a second. What actually happens when next-gen AI starts autonomously exploiting software flaws? The sources we're digging into make a really striking point. Today's models are already incredible at finding bugs, but the next generation, they're going to be highly capable of exploiting them autonomously. That timeline between finding a vulnerability and exploiting it is just compressing rapidly. The clock is literally ticking, and organizations have to act right now to prepare for a world where exploits are vastly easier to discover.
Okay, let's dive right into this. To give you a clear roadmap, here's our agenda. First, the AI cybersecurity era. Second, introducing Claude Security. Third, reducing false positives. Fourth, the scan-to-fix workflow. And fifth, enterprise ecosystem integrations. All right, let's get to it.
Starting off with Section 1, the AI cybersecurity era and the ticking clock of threat detection. Look, we're entering a highly pivotal time. We recently saw Anthropic give select partners access to their Claude Mythos preview, and it showed it could match, or even surpass, elite human experts at finding and exploiting vulnerabilities. So that's the high-stakes reality we're dealing with. Defenders absolutely need access to frontier AI capabilities just to keep pace. Now, notice the stark contrast here between the old way and where we're going. You know, traditional scanners, right? They're entirely focused on rule-based pattern matching, looking for known bad shapes in the code. The problem is that approach spits out an unbelievably high false positive rate and totally misses complex multi-component logic errors. But Claude Security? It applies contextual reasoning. It acts way more like a skilled human security researcher. It reads the source code, sure, but it also reads to get history, traces data flows across multiple files, and actually grasps the business logic to find those context-dependent vulnerabilities that pattern matching just completely blind to. Which brings us right into Section 2, introducing Claude Security, powered by Opus 4.7. So this public beta is powered by Claude Opus 4.7, expanding these capabilities to all Claude Enterprise customers. This is one of the most powerful, generally available models out there for finding and patching vulnerabilities. Fun fact, it's actually the exact same model architecture Anthropic uses to secure its own codebase. The goal isn't just to flag a surface-level typo. Opus 4.7 pushes deep into component interactions to identify high-severity stuff, memory corruption, injection flaws, authentication bypasses, the kind of things that usually require an elite human auditor to track down. Moving on to Section 3, reducing false positives, or what we call high signal detection. Because let's be real, if you talk to any security analyst, their biggest nightmare is alert fatigue. If a tool flags 1,000 issues and 990 are junk, you just stop checking the tool. So to fix this, Claude Security uses this critical feature called adversarial validation. It's basically a multi-stage pipeline where Claude acts as its own harshest critic. Before a finding ever hits a human's desk, Claude independently challenges and examines its own results to verify if the vulnerability is actually real. Only after it survives that adversarial pass does it surface the finding, complete with a confidence rating. That means the signal reaching your team is actually high quality and worth their time. And to see how this plays out in the wild, check out this quote from Sua Khan, the VP and Chief Security Officer at DoorDash. When you're operating at the massive scale and speed of DoorDash, you literally cannot afford to waste time on phantom bugs, because Claude Security accurately surfaces deep vulnerabilities and pipes them directly into their workflows. Engineers can actually trust the tool and take action in context. All right, Section 4, the scan-to-fix workflow, going from triage to targeted patch. Let's shift from theory into the actual day-to-day practice. It's a clean, 4-step workflow. Step 1 is the scan. You can run these in parallel across multiple repos or scope them down to specific directories, which is super helpful for massive mono repos. Step 2 is validate, which we just talked about, that adversarial verification pass to kill the false positives. Step 3 is where the magic happens. Propose fix. Claude generates a targeted patch that actually respects your code's specific structure and style. And finally, Step 4, review and apply. The AI acts as your analyst, doing all the grueling research, but the human expert stays entirely in control, reviewing the explanation and approving the final pull request.
I really want to draw your attention to this metric right here, minutes. During the research preview, Anthropic realized that the metric that truly matters isn't just the sheer volume of bugs found, it's the time from scan to fix. The entire goal here is shrinking remediation from days of endless back and forth between security and dev teams down to just mere minutes, handled in a single sitting. And to back that up, listen to Matt Aramatorio, a head of security who used the platform. He says the strongest signal of success isn't just logging a ticket that eventually gets ignored. It's how quickly a finding turns into a mergeable PR. As he says, they're closing real vulnerabilities in minutes, not days. That is just a massive paradigm shift for proactive security.
Finally, Section 5, Enterprise Ecosystem Integrations, meeting defenders where they work. Because honestly, the most powerful security tool in the world is completely useless if it doesn't fit into your existing ecosystem. You do not want another standalone dashboard to check. So Claude Security builds right into your operations. You can set up webhook alerts straight to Slack and Jira. You can export everything as CSV or Markdown for compliance. You can schedule recurring weekly scans so nothing slips through the cracks. And my personal favorite, documented dismissals. If a human flags something as a false positive or an accepted risk, they log the reason, which creates a crystal clear audit trail for future reviewers. Beyond direct use, Anthropic is embedding this tech right into the industry's biggest platforms. Look at these key partners. Technology giants like CrowdStrike, Microsoft Security, SentinelOne, and Wiz are integrating Opus 4.7 directly into their tools. Plus, top-tier service partners like Accenture and Deloitte are rolling out Claude-integrated solutions to help massive organizations modernize. So whether you're using Claude directly or through a partner, you're getting those exact same frontier capabilities. So to wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this one provocative thought. If AI is actively compressing the timeline for attackers to discover and exploit vulnerabilities, is your security team actually moving fast enough to defend against them? What we're seeing with the Claude Security public beta suggests that AI isn't just the threat anymore, it's absolutely the essential defensive countermeasure. Thanks so much for joining me as we unpacked this huge shift in cybersecurity. Keep learning, stay focused, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.